I like being on your journey with you. So this is like a date for me. It's like my little date with you guys, which I really like. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Now, today's coaching call, okay? It's weight loss 101. So basically, I'm going to kind of break down everything you need to know about weight loss, okay? And I'm going to break it down so it's super simple to understand, so it doesn't seem so overwhelming and unattainable, okay? So many women say, I want to lose weight, I want to tone up, but what does that mean and how do you do it, okay? It's not my job to make you go through the motions. It's my job to teach you why you're doing what you're doing and how to do it long term, okay? So, in the comments, ladies, tell me who wants to lose weight. Yes or no? Who wants to lose weight? Yes, I want to lose weight. Pretty much everybody. Weight.
Yes.
Everybody. Yeah, everybody wants to lose weight. So, when we say that, okay, what does weight loss mean? Okay, so in your words, what does weight loss mean? Put it in the comments. What do you think weight loss actually means? I'm going to dumb it down and we're going to go right to the basics. What does weight loss mean? Because some people will have different definitions than other people. So losing fat. Yeah, you guys are on the right track, okay? So weight loss means it's just decreasing your mass, okay? And what you guys mean when you say weight loss is you want to burn fat, period. You want to burn fat. The stuff you can pinch, okay? The stuff that rolls over your jeans, okay? We want that gone. The stuff that squeezes out of your bra, we want the fat gone. So weight loss equals fat loss, okay? So we need to make sure we're on the same page there. Now, why do you think that you need to know about this? So why do you think it's important for you to know how to lose weight? Not just be told, do this, and it'll make you lose weight. Why do you want to know how to lose weight? Let me see in the comments. So we can be successful at maintaining our healthy weight. Yes, Dana. So you can do it properly and be realistic. Good answer. Sustainable. Exactly. So we're all along the same time. It's super important to know how to do it so you can maintain it long term, okay? Because in all honesty, guys, losing weight is easy. You have done it before, you can do it again. But how many people have kept the weight off indefinitely every time they've gone and lost weight? Zero. Otherwise, you would not be here. You would have been successful, okay? So it's super important to understand why and how to lose weight, okay? So that we can break that cycle and actually sustain it. So this can really actually be the last time you ever need to start something, okay? Now, in the comments, how do you think you lose weight? So in one sentence, tell me how you think you lose weight. How do you burn fat? What do you think that is in one sentence? Let's see where your minds are at. Krista Lee, eat less, move more. Love it. Proper diet and exercise. Love it. Burn more energy than you intake. Awesome. Yeah, you guys got it. I like Ishika's answer. Consistency. So basically, how you lose weight, okay, and listen carefully. It is so simple, it's stupid. You consume less calories, or you burn more calories than you consume. It's that simple, guys. You're burning more in a day than you're consuming. You're burning more than you're consuming. It is that simple. If the scale is not moving, if you're not happy with your appearance, you're not doing that. You may think you're eating properly, you may think you're exercising enough, but the scale is telling you it's not. So that means you are not burning more than you are consuming, period. Period, period, period. I don't care what age you are, I don't care what fitness level you are, I don't care what medical conditions you have, okay? 9.999999 times out of 10, okay, it's because you are consuming more than you're burning in a day. And that's why you're either gaining weight or not losing. Very, very simple concept. Is that clear? That's it. If you want to know how to lose weight, that is all you have to know. It is not overly complicated, okay? And this concept is so important to grasp because in the past, you've fallen off or you've given up or you've lost motivation or you cheated or whatever it was because your goals and weight loss seem so overwhelming, so unattainable that you'd rather just fall back into old habits. Weight loss seemed like a mountain you couldn't climb. When realistically, guys, it's just a little speed bump. It's just a little speed bump. If you understand that one concept, okay, you consume less than you're burning in a day. If you understand that, you know how to lose weight, okay? Who has a pet here? Who has a dog? Who has a cat? Who has a pet? Anybody have any pets? Awesome. So if you went to the vet and your vet said, your dog, your cat needs to lose weight. It's obese, it's overweight, it's gonna die if it doesn't lose weight. How do you make it lose weight, ladies? Comment, how are you gonna make your cat or your dog lose weight? Yeah, feed it less and walk it more. See, we understand how simple it is for our pets. Just don't feed them as much food and take them for a couple more walks. It's so simple. And we forget that it's that simple for us too. We forget to apply that simple method to us. Isn't that funny? We overcomplicate it because it seems so overwhelming, and we struggle achieving it so much that we don't think it's simple. Because if it was, why aren't we there? But it is simple. And that's why I want to remind you and bring this point back. Okay, because weight loss is simple. Okay, and it's just about sticking to it long term. So you guys know what to do. You know, you got to eat less, you got to move more. You know what to do, okay? But if you want to lose weight, you need someone to make sure that you do it, because you cannot rely on yourself to push you. You cannot rely on your family or friends to push you. You need a coach to make sure you implement those two things. Eat less, move more, okay? Very, very simple. Now, how do we incorporate that into our actual life? So how do we actually practically use that information? So how do we actually know if we're eating less and actually know if we're moving more, okay? And this is really cool. It's very, very simple, okay? To lose weight, you have to be in a caloric deficit. And when I say caloric deficit, that means you have to be eating under the amount of calories that your body naturally burns in a day. Okay, so say right now your metabolism burns 1,500 calories in a day by using energy to digest, using energy to blink, to walk upstairs, to go for a walk. Everything you do in a day burns about 1,500 calories. Okay, if you want to lose weight, you have to eat less than 1,500 calories. Very simple math. Very simple math. Right? Because you're eating less and you're going to move more. So if that's my maintenance calories, I eat under that. Now here's the thing. How do you know what your maintenance calories are, and how do you know how far under you should go, right? And number one, that's what we're for, so you don't have to do the hard work. But number two, I want to give you a little bit of background as to how we decide that, okay? And basically there's kind of three ways to decide to be in a caloric deficit. There are three ways to be in a caloric deficit. Okay, there's a severe caloric deficit, there's a minimal caloric deficit, and then there's a medium caloric deficit. Okay, kind of like Goldilocks in the porridge. So there's three. Okay, three deficits. Now, the severe deficit. So let's say we're back to those 500 or 1,500 calories a day. Okay, a severe calorie deficit would be 500 calories less. So if your maintenance is 1,500. And you consume 1,000 every day for a week, okay, that's 500 less. So 500 times 7 is 3,500. So that's how many less calories you're eating in a week, 3,500. And if you guys didn't know this, 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. 1 pound equals 3,500 calories. So if you want to burn and you want to lose 1 pound, you need to burn 3,500 calories. Okay, and in a severe calorie deficit, okay, and we just did the math, you're going from 1,500 to 1,000 calories every day. If you do the math, 500 less, that equals 3,500 over the week. So that means you've lost 1 pound just by changing your diet, and that's a severe calorie deficit, okay? Now, in a severe calorie deficit, this will be the fastest. This will be the fastest that you lose weight, okay, because you're just eating a lot less, right? Has anybody been in a severe caloric deficit before? Has anybody extremely restricted their calories or struggled with some type of disordered eating? Yeah. So the severe, although it's effective and fast, it is not sustainable. Can we all see that? We can't survive off 1,000 calories every day. We just can't. Can you? I can't. No freaking way. Hell no. I like peanut butter, and peanut butter has a lot of calories. So I can't survive off 1,000 calories a day. I don't want to. Number one, I'm going to be very moody. It's not going to give me what I need, my body needs. And number two, I'm going to perform very, very poorly in my workouts. And I want to perform well in my workouts so I can build muscle, boost my metabolism, and get a toned look from having muscle. So a severe caloric deficit, even though it's fast results, okay, it's not sustainable. So what ends up happening is when you stop and you go back to your normal calories, you end up binging and falling off. And that's probably what most of you have done in the past. Okay, what most of you have done on programs or meal plans or supplements in the past is they probably put you on a severe calorie deficit, okay? We do not do that. At Fit Queen, we do not put you at a severe calorie deficit, although it's fast and you'd be losing 1 pound a week just from adjusting your food, not including the extra exercise you guys are doing, okay, just from the food. It's not realistic, okay? We don't want you to start your journey with something that's not realistic, okay? Because however you start your journey is how you'll finish your journey. If you start it extreme, it's going to end really extreme, okay? And not in a good way. So that's one way of implementing a calorie deficit, okay? The other way is on the opposite side of the spectrum, where it's a minimal calorie deficit, okay? So that means if you're having 1,500 calories a day, ladies, you drop it down to 1,400 calories a day, so only dropping 100 calories a day. And if you times that by 7, that's 700 less calories in a day, and that equals, because you guys know that 3,500 equals 1 pound, 700 calories in a week is about 0.2 pounds. So the scale's only going to be going down about 0.2 pounds every week, okay? It's very cool. When you learn this, weight loss just becomes math. It becomes very, very easy, and you can predict what you're going to see on the scale. So extreme severe calorie deficit, okay? Fast results, okay? Minimal calorie deficit, very, very slow results, okay? So here's the problem. With the extreme deficit, you can't sustain it for very long. With the minimal deficit, you don't see results very quickly at all, and you fall off because of that. Has anybody been there before? Has anybody not seen results, so they kind of just stopped or stopped giving 100%? Yeah. So those are your two extremes. One is not sustainable. One is not fast enough to keep you going, okay? So, and then there's the one in between, the medium calorie deficit. And that's what we focus you guys on, the medium calorie deficit, okay? So you are burning, you're not eating as many calories as the minimal deficit, okay? But you're not as under your calories as the extreme, okay? So an example of your medium calorie deficit would be if your metabolism burns 1,500 calories in a day, okay? Medium would be about 1,200 calories in a day, okay? So that's about 300 calories less per day. 300 times 7 equals about 2,100, and that's about 0.6 of a pound if you do the math, okay? So with the medium calorie deficit, okay, if you do the math, and everybody's numbers are different just because our metabolism, that maintenance level is different depending on how much muscle mass you have. So some people could be below 1,500, some people could be above 1,500. But for the sake of this, if they're 1,500 and they have 1,200 a day, they're gonna lose about 0.6 pounds a week just from changing their diet, not even from adding the exercise, okay? So that's why it's so critical in your diet, guys. Are you guys kind of understanding how this math works? It's very, 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 very simple. That's why if the scale doesn't move, okay, you ate too much and you didn't work out enough to make up for it, period, okay? It's just a give and take game with calories. So those are your 3 ways to implement a calorie deficit: severe, medium, and very, very minimal, okay? The medium is the best because you're going to get somewhat quick results, okay? For those of you in the 21-day challenge, or if you've done the 21-day challenge, you see pretty quick results, right? Pretty quick results. Most ladies are losing 10 pounds in 21 days, which is quite fast compared to other programs. But you're eating a lot of food, okay? You're incorporating resistance training, so you have the energy and you have all the fuel you need to sustain this journey, okay? So that's the medium one that we focus on. And we do all the math for you, so you guys don't have to worry about like, oh my God, what's this, what's this, what's this? Am I this, this? You'll see the scale keep going down if you follow it, which you guys already know, right? Now, Ishika messaged me the other day, and she wanted to talk about this on a coaching call. So this is what sparked my my little rant here. She wanted to know, can you burn fat and build muscle at the same time? Okay. So after what I've just said, what do you guys think? Can you burn fat and build muscle at the same time? Yes? No? Maybe? What do you guys think? Let's see. So we got a yes, yes, yes. We're all yeses. All right. Maybe yes. Okay. So, if you are on a severe calorie deficit, okay, your body is not getting enough fuel to build muscle. So, if you've been on a restrictive diet before, okay, hands up who's been on a restrictive diet before? Like really, really cut their calories or like skip eating, skip meals, whatever. Okay. So if you've done that before, you know, number one, it's not sustainable. You know, number two, your energy's all over the place. And then number three, you might notice that when you do lose weight, you don't like the way that you look so much. You might look sick. You might look more tired. You're not really full and toned like you want to be. You don't look healthy. Okay. And that's because you cannot build muscle in a severe calorie deficit. It's pretty much impossible. You just can't. Your body's not, you're not even getting enough fuel to maintain your weight. So how could you get enough fuel to build muscle on top of that? Is that making sense? So simply put, if you're looking to build muscle and get toned, because we want to burn fat and get toned, you cannot put yourself in a severe calorie deficit. You will not like the results, okay? So you cannot build muscle in a severe calorie deficit unless you're on steroids. It's like almost impossible, okay? Now, medium calorie deficit. Can you build muscle on a medium calorie deficit? Yes, you can, okay? However, it's slow. It's very slow. Okay, and because we are still not consuming, we're closer to our maintenance, but we're still not at our maintenance. And if you want to build something, you have to fuel it, right? And your body's in burn mode, not build mode. So it's harder to put on muscle. Okay, you can. It is just very, very slow. Okay, so that is why when someone says, "I want to build muscle and lose fat," I will say, pick one. Pick one, because you don't get to have both at the same time. You don't get to have both at the same time, okay? If you try to do both at the same time, you will be very, very disappointed because you will be plateauing with your results. You won't know why. You won't lose weight or gain muscle because you're trying to do both at the same time. It doesn't make sense, okay? Now, having said that, okay, in a minimal calorie deficit, that is the best way to build muscle, okay? And that is what we do in phase 2 in the academy, okay? So phase 1 in the 21-day kickstart, that is medium calorie deficit. Let's burn some fat as fast as possible, see what we're working with, get those good habits going so you have momentum to continue. Then phase 2 hits, we say, okay, our metabolism has sped up. We've gotten off a decent amount of fat. Now let's focus on building muscle so we can speed up our metabolism so that basic 1,500 maintenance calories can turn into 16, 18, 2,000. So then we can work our way up to 2,000 calories of eating every day and still lose weight, okay? That's the end goal, okay? The more muscle you have, the more calories you burn, the more you get to eat in a day and still lose weight. That's the end goal, okay? So in the academy, you're on a minimal calorie deficit. So the fat loss on the scale is going to slow down slightly, okay? So where you might be losing 3 to 4 pounds a week in the challenge, you might be losing 1 to 3 pounds a week in the academy because we're burning strictly fat and trying to build muscle. So it's really cool science. And for those of you in the academy, if you can comment and attest to this, you'll see a big change in your body composition. You'll go from soft to tight. You'll be more firm. And anybody in the academy, you can comment that. So that's when your body really starts to sculpt because we're feeding you a little bit more calories, a little bit more fuel. We've upped the amount of workouts you're doing, okay? And that's a perfect environment for muscle building, and muscle building equals metabolism boosting. Is this making sense, guys? Is this science helpful to anybody? Does this kind of break down what's happening in your body, why we're doing it, okay? And very simply, if the scale is not moving, again, you ate too much food or you didn't move enough, okay? Period, okay? And it's much easier. It is much easier to go to eat less than it is to move more, okay? Because number one, eating less will give you more results, okay? Like decreasing your calories will make that weight loss faster as opposed to exercising more, because exercising more is very time consuming, okay? If you've ever seen, has anybody seen like bikini competitors and the bodybuilders, the really, really lean women? So when they're prepping, they're usually doing like an hour of cardio a day to increase their calorie deficit. so that they can burn more fat faster. And that's just not practical. It's not practical to an hour of cardio every day. You can't sustain that the rest of your life, okay? An hour of cardio, let's say they burn 600 calories. So yes, they burned 600 calories, but was it worth it? An hour every day on top of a regular workout, on top of meal prepping, on top of work, on top of driving everywhere, on top of just your day-to-day life. So eating less is easier, it's more convenient than adding more movement, okay? And simply because, especially with cardio, guys, our body is very good at adapting. So when we get really comfortable with a cardio routine, our body really doesn't burn a whole lot of calories anymore. Our body gets really efficient at it. So maybe we burn 600 calories in an hour the first week. By the next month, maybe we burn only 400 calories in an hour. And then it just decreases because you get so efficient at it. So that's also why we build our workouts the way that we do. So you can get used to them, then we change them. So your body gets confused again and has to start adapting differently, okay? But does that make sense, guys? Are we following me? So super important that if you're not seeing results, if your goal is to really lose weight, it's just a matter of consuming less than you're burning. Very, very simple, okay? And then making sure you're in a caloric deficit, okay? But you have to make sure that you're in a safe caloric deficit where you still have energy, where you can still perform in the gym, where you're not going to binge eat, okay? And be over tempted by something because you're starving, okay? But you're still able to see results fairly quickly to keep your motivation up, okay? So there's like a very, very intricate balance in those numbers and calories. That's very, very science-based. That's our job as coaches. We've done all that for you. That's why coaches are so important, okay? Because it's our full-time job to figure that out for you. It's you need to do it as your full-time job to figure it out for you, and you can't do that. So that's why coaches are important, right? Because I can give you the best nutrition plan in the world. I can give you the best workout plan in the world, but at the end of the day, you're not going to do it, or you're not going to do it long term. So coaches make sure you do it. Coaches make sure you do it all the time, okay? Coaches make sure you use the information you're given, finally, right? I have coaches. My coaches have coaches, and it just goes on and on. Every time I said to myself, I'm going to go on my own. I know what I'm doing now. I've been prepared by this coach. I'm going to try my own now. I fell flat on my face every freaking time, okay? In business, in weight loss, in relationships, every coach I've had for these different areas of my life, the second I let go of one and was like, okay, cool, thanks for the tools, I'm going to go try my own, I fell flat on my face. It blew up in my face. Who's been in that experience before? Who said, oh, I can do it on my own, and then lost motivation and fell off? Here. Yeah, definitely. A few times. Me too. It took me about 7 times to lose my 70 pounds. About 7 times to lose my 70 pounds because I kept thinking I could do it on my own, and I couldn't. It wasn't until I sustained a coach long-term and still have a coach that I've been able to keep it off, because they just keep you accountable. That's it. It's very, very simple. Super, super important. Mackie says, I need you for the rest of my life, Maddie. It's funny, but it's true. It's so true. And when you accept that, you start to view things different, and you start to prioritize your life differently, okay? Coaches are meant to elevate you. They're meant to keep you accountable. And it's really exciting, right? Because I'm a coach to you guys, but I'm a student to other people. And I'm always learning and growing, and then I always get to share it with you guys. And a lot of the times what I find, and what I found when I tried to lose my weight on my own and I tried all these different programs, these programs could only take you where the leader was. They can only take you where the owner was, because that owner stopped growing and had nothing else to offer. But if the leader never stops growing, you'll never stop growing. You'll always be able to elevate. And that's what I love about this community. It never stops growing. I'll never stop growing. We'll always have information to share and wisdom to exchange with each other, which is really, really cool. Okay. Now, based on that, okay, I want to hear your biggest takeaway in the comments. Okay. So after everything that we've talked about, I want you to kind of quickly summarize it, pick the point that stood out to you and write it down. Okay. That way, when you write it down, physically, you're not going to forget it. Okay. Too often, I'm guilty of this. I write a to-do list in my head. I'm like, okay, there's 7 things on my to-do list today. I get to my number 1 on my list, and then I forget the other 6 because I didn't write it down. So write down what you're taking away from this, okay? I want to see where we are at. It's crazy how losing weight is so simple. We are all capable of achieving the body of our dreams if we put our minds and hearts into it. Very true, Dana. Everybody is capable, okay? What separates you from somebody who's already reached their goal is they've just been trying longer. They didn't stop when they plateaued. They didn't stop when they thought they could go by themselves. They didn't stop when it was hard. Okay, they just kept going. Casey says the simplicity of it, eat less, exercise more. Love it. Krista Lee, you need a coach to keep you accountable, because if you try to do it on your own, you will fall off. It's so true, and I can't hammer that home enough, and I speak from personal experience. Every time I message my coach and say, "Thank coach, I don't need it from here. I'm gonna try on my own." Every time I failed, I fell off. Whether if it was a couple times, it was literally the day after I didn't have a coach anymore. Sometimes it wasn't until a couple months. But what happened was I'd always end up losing my progress. Whatever progress I made, I would lose it. It was only a matter of time. I didn't even sustain any of it, which is brutal. The max meat and low sustainable diets where you lose fat and where you're able to build muscle. Yeah. Be mindful of how much you're taking in versus expending. I love it. Keep Mackie in my life. Mackie's got the bars today. I love it. Yeah, so be mindful of what's going in your mouth. Just pay attention. We snack too much. We overportion. Okay, we pick off people's plates. We undereat sometimes. There is a balance. There's a balance. Okay. Make sure to eat enough calories to still have energy to work out, but not eat calories. So yeah, exactly. So you can burn it in the day. Yep. Nancy, I didn't know that you couldn't lose fat and gain muscle at the same time. I thought that the more muscle you build, the more fat you would burn. Exactly. So I love it. And I'll hit that home again. So both, like everybody on this call right now wants to burn fat and wants to build muscle, but those are two separate goals for two different times. Okay. The 28-day challenge is all about burning as much fat as possible so you can see what you're working with, start to see the muscles that you do have shine through. That's how you get the toning effect. And then the academy is you're still burning fat, just not as rapidly, and now really hammering building that muscle, because more muscle, more calories burned. The more calories that are burned, the more food you get to eat naturally just to maintain your weight. Okay. Women who've spent years resistance training have gotten their maintenance calories up to 2,000, 3,000 calories a day. I'm at about 2,000 right now. And it's my goal to keep going. I want to get that number higher and higher. I want my metabolism to be able to burn more naturally in a day just to keep my muscles alive. So people who have enough muscle on them that they're just burning 3,000 calories a day just by living, just by going about life, is crazy. Because then if they want to go through a cutting phase and burn fat, they can eat 2,500 calories. And that's a lot of food. And it's very sustainable. So the beginning of your weight loss journey is going to be a little hard because you don't have a lot of calories to work with, because you don't have a lot of muscles on you. But as you progress through the academy and onwards, okay, that muscle mass builds, that calorie number increases, and it becomes much, much easier to sustain a diet that you're comfortable with, to fit in cheat meals and just live your life without it having completely throwing off your results, and just to enjoy the process more and making losing weight so easy the next time you want to. So say you want to cut down 2 or 3 pounds for vacation by the time you get to your body weight. It's easier because your metabolism is faster. That's the goal. And that's why it's so important that you stick with something. Stop just coming to level 1 in a bunch of different things and all these programs you tried. If you make it to level 100 with one thing, you're going to have very low body fat percentage. You're going to have nice muscle tone, and your metabolism is going to be sped up. So you're a fat burning machine. And anytime you want to build more fat or move to a strict muscle building phase, it's so easy because your body is already efficient and where it needs to be. So super, super cool. Mackie wants to eat 3,000 calories a day, right? That's the freaking dream. That's the dream. You can have a dessert every night. You can have a big hungry man's breakfast every day. You can enjoy food and look at it different. It's a process, guys. And if you're rushing to a finish line, I guarantee you you're going to fail. And I guarantee you will never reach this goal. You will never speed up your metabolism. You will never get there. And you will always be frustrated and teeter in the weight loss phase. very few women, almost no women, ever make it to the weight management phase. Very few women. Who can say they've reached their goal body, kept it there forever? Very few women. So our goal is to prepare you during your weight loss phase to be ready for weight management. Weight loss is easy. It's simple. I just told you it's simple. But it's not simple keeping it off. There's science behind it, and most importantly, you need consistency. And consistency doesn't come from you, it comes from your coach. And that's a big takeaway I need you guys to understand. Consistency will not come for you. If you were naturally consistent, you'd be working out every day. You'd eat salads every day. You'd go for a run in the morning. You do X, Y, and Z because you know to do it. You know you have to move more and eat less, but we don't do it. Or we don't do it consistently enough to see fast results or see lasting results. That's the problem. We're really good at doing it for short spurts, but then when we have a blowout or we have a cheat or a birthday party, it sets us off and then we lose our progress and we keep teetering in the same space. And it's freaking frustrating. If you stay ready, you don't gotta get ready. If you stay ready, if you stay healthy, if you stay fit, if you stay lean, you don't got to get lean for the vacation. You don't got to get lean for your kid's wedding. Like, you don't have to do these things. They're there. You can try on whatever you want at a store. Like, these are all things that we take advantage of. Like, we don't even know that are problems. Even your confidence level, right? When that increases, your connection increases to your spouse. Your connection increases to your kids. You're a better example, right? You feel more sexy. You get more flirty with your spouse. You get to bring the romance back. These are all things that improve as you progress on your weight loss journey. It's just so often, and the way that the industry has been built, it doesn't set you up for success. And then you stop because you don't think you need a coach to continue, and you fall off and you repeat the same cycle. Okay, and then you just keep repeating the same thing. Jump back on when you're motivated, learn it, say, I can do it by myself, fall off, jump back on when you're motivated, learn stuff, think you can do it by yourself, and it's just back and forth and back and forth. And even though you start something new, it's the same thing. You keep trying something new. Same solution you're looking for, it just comes in different wrapping paper, okay? So, Dana wants a question. Go ahead and type the question, Dana, if you want. Vicky, don't rush to get there. I like that statement. Yeah, so important. We're so, like, this life is so fast already. Why are we rushing everywhere? Okay. As somebody who opened up a business very, very young, and who's experienced an enormous amount for my age, and I'm so grateful for it, I can tell you that, you know, it's not as rewarding as you think it is when you reach your goal. What's rewarding is who you are and what you learn about yourself along the way. I am so proud of myself. I can say that I love myself, and I can say that I can handle anything that comes my way. I can do anything that I want to achieve because I've sat in the moment and appreciated how I've gotten here, how I got to this point. How did you get to this point? Like, be proud of yourself. Do something you're proud of. Follow through on something. Make yourself proud. If you keep letting yourself down, it is going to ruin your self-confidence, and you'll just have a mediocre life. You're not going to do things. You're not going to have opportunities if you keep letting yourself down. Nancy has a question too. Go ahead, Nance. I have trouble wrapping my head around the portions sometimes. The portions, go ahead and ask me about the portions, Nance. Dana, the protein pancake recipe says it's green, blue, and orange in the color wheel. What is the vegetable in the recipe? So Dana, you can put spinach in your pancake. Super easy, and they don't taste like anything. I have 1 cup of broccoli, 1 cup of cauliflower, half a cup of peas, and 6 ounces of chicken breast. That's fine, Nance. Go for it. Fill up on veggies. Nancy's in the academy, so challengers don't listen to that. What time is the latest you should eat? Good question. So ladies, I'm going to let you answer that one. Dana asked, what is the latest you can eat your dinner or snack? Now, based on what we learned over this call, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Based on what we learned, does timing matter? Because based on what we learned, it was just a calorie thing. And a calorie is a calorie no matter what time of day. Calorie is a calorie no matter what time of day it is. 1 pound is still 3,500 calories no matter what time of day it is. So to answer your question, timing does not matter. Okay, do what's going to fit with your schedule on that day, okay? My suggestion would be that you try to eat at least an hour before bed, just because you do not want to be digesting food while you're sleeping, okay? But if you have to, you can eat right before bed, guys. Not a big deal. A calorie is a calorie is a calorie. As long as you're getting all your food in and you're not skipping meals, that's what matters, okay? Because if you start getting into too much of a calorie deficit, your metabolism will slow down, and then your energy drops. And again, that's when we get in the danger zone of not being sustainable and developing like binge eating habits, which is not healthy, okay? I don't eat past 7 p.m. Yeah, that's fine. You're going to find out what works for you, okay? Everybody's body is different, okay? Everybody's timing is different. Everybody's schedule is different. Some people don't like breakfast. That's fine. Have your breakfast at 12 p.m. Just make sure you get all the food in. Some people don't like eating past 5 p.m. That's fine. Get all your food in before 5 p.m. Whatever works. If you're craving late at night, save your second shake for late at night to curb your cravings. You can move your shakes around if you want, right? And put the shake in a blender with some ice, and it's like ice cream, my favorite. I struggle to eat my lunch. I get busy with work and forget. So Vicky, so is anybody else, this is common. If you struggle to eat all the food or you forget to eat all the food, there's a couple things you can do. You can always set an alarm on your phone to remind you to eat, which is very, very important. Because, and this is a statement, really cool statement, okay? Your life shouldn't revolve around eating, okay? Eating should fit into your life. We don't want to give food too much power. We don't want it to control our day, and we don't want it to be on our mind all the time, okay? So it does have to be important, and you do need to make a point of building a food routine in your life, okay? So that means day to day, what you eat, how you eat, and when you eat should be somewhat similar, okay? You should not have sporadic eating habits. That's unhealthy, and anything sporadic and random will lead to sporadic and random results, okay? So describe what you're doing now. If you describe it as consistent, as fulfilling, as healthy, that's what your goals are gonna be. If it's restrictive, if you're starving, if you're blah, 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 that's what your results are gonna be, okay? That's what you're gonna get in the end. So nothing changes along the way. How you start is how you finish, okay? So don't freak out if you can't fit food in. Put an alarm on your phone, because it's important that you make time for your food, okay? It's important to start building that routine and fitting it into your life, not fitting your life into food, okay? Put an alarm on your phone, or just eat it later or eat it earlier, okay? But try to eat it at the same time every day, okay? Very important. And it's just healthy too, guys, because losing weight and being healthy extends further than just what you eat and what you work out, right? Can we all attest to that? Being healthy is not just food and workouts, right? It is life. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you are super organized with your meals, super organized with your workouts, but work is hectic, guess what? That one thing will bring you down. How you do one thing is how everything else will turn out. So until you get a hold of everything in your life, until you restructure everything, reschedule everything so that it's organized, it's clean, it's healthy habits, okay? So you will suffer. Something will always suffer, okay? So how you do one thing is how you do everything, okay? So if you want to be healthy and happy and fit, your whole life has to be that. It can't just be your food and your workouts. It has to be your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your husband, what you do for a living, what you do when you see family. Like, if you don't get to turn on when you decide to be healthy. It's a full-time thing. And that's what I think a lot of people forget. Because if I said, what do you guys think changes when you reach your goal? What you're doing now, what changes when you reach your goal? Comment. What do you guys think changes when you reach your goal? Do you get to go back to eating pizzas Friday night? Eating a tub of Ben & Jerry's? Watching a rom-com? Like, what happens when you reach your goal? Nothing changes. Nothing, exactly. Nothing changes. So you need to come to terms, you need to accept that what you're doing now is what you need to do forever. So stop fighting it, stop stressing out about it, stop complaining and making excuses that it's hard. Of course it's hard. You're not just reconditioning your food habits and your exercise habits. If you want to reach your goal, you have to recondition everything in your life. Everything. Your family's eating habits are going to change. They're going to have to change if you want to be healthy. Period. How you do one thing is how you do everything. The type of people you're around, the type of environment you are on, no matter how much willpower you have, will bleed in and affect you. Willpower is inconsistent. Willpower is there when you're motivated. It's not there when you're not motivated. Right? So if you on Sundays, if you lost 5 pounds and then went to a birthday party, you're going to stay away from the cake because you just lost 5 pounds and you're really loving your progress. But if you stepped on the scale and it didn't move and you went to a birthday party, you'd probably eat a piece of cake because you're like, screw it. Right? So you can't rely on willpower. You can't rely on motivation. You just have to be consistent and accept that this is your life. Accept that it's not going to be perfect and it is a process. You're not overhauling everything overnight. That's the way we've designed Fit Queen and the Fit Queen phases, is to slowly integrate and really, really change it. But that's what it is, guys. I hope you guys understand that this isn't a 21-day thing, an 8-week thing, a 1-year thing. It is, let's work together to make your body a machine. And in order to do that, we have to instill healthy habits along the way. And the healthy habits required to get there are going to bleed into other areas of your life. And as a result, a year from now, your life should look different. Your routine, your habits, your environments, who you hang around with will be different. Does that make sense, guys? Do we agree with that? Very simple. It is kind of a hard thing to wrap your brain around if you are still stuck in that instant gratification bubble that the industry has put you in, right? And some people just aren't ready to pop that bubble yet, and that's okay. That's why we keep having coaching calls. But for the majority of you, I think that you are wise enough to know that this is a forever thing. So nothing changes when you reach your goals, okay? What happens is you've just made habits more automatic, so they're easier to follow through with, and you enjoy the process more. You don't drag your feet to go to a workout. You don't throw up after you eat some spinach. You just start enjoying the process more. And you become proud of yourself for sticking to it. You become proud for not binge eating anymore, for not being an all or nothing woman. You become proud of the new habits you developed, because our habits, we identify our habits as who we are, right? So I'm loving, I'm caring. Like, these are all things that I consider that I am. But if we say stuff like, I'm an all or nothing woman, I have too many cravings, my thyroid's too slow. Like, if we say these things, we believe them and we become them. We become them, okay? But if you prove to yourself that you can still see results despite all the excuses in your head, you start to associate your identity with somebody who just shuts up and gets things done. And that association is how you win at life. Period. Period. That's the key. That is winning at life. That's how you find happiness. That association. Associating who you are and your identity with somebody who can get anything done that they put their mind to. Right now, you are not there. Right now, you failed too many times to believe that. And right now, you're still stuck behind too many excuses to believe that. Okay? But along your journey, if you start appreciating your journey, appreciate who you're turning into, appreciate how you're strengthening your follow-through muscle, then you become truly proud of yourself. You truly love who you are, because you know that even if you do something wrong, even if you make a mistake, even if you do something that doesn't align with who you think you are, you know that you have the power and you will always be able to tackle anything that comes your way. And that is complete freedom. That is a burden lifted, a weight off your shoulders. Associating with your identity, associating who you are on a deep subconscious level with, I can do whatever I put my mind to because I've proven it to myself.